Welcome to Horror Story, where the shadows of night come alive. Turn off the lights, plug in your earphones, and let the darkness speak. Hit subscribe because the next day is waiting to haunt you. This story is titled The Reincarnation Desk, A Deal with the Damned. The air pressed against me, thick and suffocating, like I had been submerged in a vat of cold tar. I couldn't remember how I had arrived here, or where I even was. My senses swam in a haze, the edge of my vision smudged with shadows that writhed like living things. Ahead, a cavernous chamber loomed, its walls shadowed by an impenetrable darkness that seemed to pulse with a heartbeat of its own. A single flickering bulb hung from the ceiling, swaying gently, casting jagged pools of light across an obsidian desk that gleamed like polished bone. Behind it sat Rebecca, her silver hair catching the dim glow like a crown of frost. She looked impossibly young, her skin smooth, her posture relaxed, but her eyes, they were ancient, hollow pits that seemed to stare straight through you. Thanks for taking my appointment, I said, my voice cracking like brittle glass. I didn't think there would be any opening. Rebecca's lips twisted into a smile, sharp and cold, never touching those unblinking eyes. She shuffled a stack of files on her desk, the sound unnaturally loud, like a scrape of claws on stone. Each movement was deliberate, calculated, as if she was toying with me. We had a client cancel, she said, her tones smooth as silk, yet edged with something dark, something amused. So I squeezed you in. She reached into the top drawer of the desk, her finger brushing the obsidian with a faint screech, and pulled out a pack of American Spirit Yellows. The crickle of cellphone cut through the stillness, a jarring reminder of the world I had left behind. She tapped out a cigarette, struck a match, and the sulphurous tang stung my nose, sharp and bitter. The smoke coiled upwards, twisting into tendrils, and danced over the files like restless spirits. I guess some vices don't die with you. Let me ask you something, she said, exhaling a plum of smoke that drifted lazily across the desk. Her voice dropped into a whisper. Are you feeling okay? Sure, I lied, the word tasting like ash on my tongue. My chest tightened, a hollow ache I couldn't explain. You are looking a little blurry around the edges. Her words hit me like a slap. I raised my hand and my breath caught. As I stared through my fingers, they shimmered, semi-transparent, the outlines quivering like heat rising off asphalt. I flexed them and they flickered, as if I were dissolving into the air itself. I was hesitant about reincarnating, I stammered. Forcing the words out, I thought I might try the alternative. Rebecca's eyes glinted, a spark of something wicked flashing in their depths, fading away until you poof out of existence. Her voice dipped, mocking, as if she mimicked the sound with a puff of smoke that dissipated into the gloom. It sounded appealing at first, I admitted, my gaze dropping to my translucent hand. But now, I think I did try to live again. She leaned back, the chair creaking ominously, and took a long drag from her cigarette. I am glad you came back to your senses. Fading away sounds great, doesn't it? Peaceful, quiet, final. But just between you and me, her voice lowered to a chilling hiss. It's an absolute nightmare. The word nightmare hung in the air, heavy and jagged, like a blade poised to fall. I swallowed hard, pretending I hadn't heard the tremor beneath her calm facade. My skin prickled, or what was left of it, electric, with a dread I couldn't name. So, how does this work? I asked, desperate to shift the conversation, to anchor myself in something solid. Rebecca's smile returned, thin and predatory. She pushed aside all but one file, the others sliding across the desk with a whisper, and tapped the remaining folder with a manicured nail. The process is simple, she said, her tone deceptively light. I give you a candidate. You decide if you want to become them. We shake hands and poof, you are reborn. I blinked, the irony of her poof not lost on me. I get to know who I am reincarnating into. Of course. Isn't that cheating? She tilted her head, using the smoldering butt of her cigarette to light a second one, the flame casting her face in a sickly orange glow. How so? I don't know, I said, fumbling for words. What if I see something I don't like and try to change it? Oh, you won't remember any of this. She exhaled a plum of smoke that spiraled towards me, its tendrils brushing my face like icy fingers. Do you remember any of your previous reincarnations? Previous? My voice cracked, a shard of panic breaking through. She hummed, the sound vibrating through the room like a distant dirge. This is our seventh time having this conversation. Seventh? The word clawed its way out of my throat, sharp and raw. My mind reeled, grasping at the memories that weren't there, a void where life should have been. I am telling you all this because you don't have to reincarnate, she said, her gaze locking into mine, unyielding. There's always the alternative. I looked down, and my stomach, or whatever ghostly remnant I had, lurched. My semi transparent fingers had spread into semi transparent hands, the edges fading like threadbare cloth. I could see the desk through them, the obsidian shimmering beneath my dissolving form. You mean the absolute nightmare? My voice trembled, barely a whisper. It's an option. A shiver raced up my spine, prickling the back of my neck with icy needles. Who knew you could still feel that when you are dead? The air grew heavier, pressing against my chest. The shadows in the corners of the room seemed to shift, as if something unseen was staring, watching. Why don't you tell me about the candidate? I said quickly, my words tumbling over each other in a rush to escape the creeping dread. Gladly, Rebecca flicked open the file with a snap and leaned forward, her silver hair falling like a curtain over one eye. Marcus Gibson, born in Southwest US, loving family, rose up to be a. She paused, her lips curling into a smirk. Butcher. The way she said butcher, slow, deliberate, dripping with malice, sent a jolt through me. Why did you say it like that? Like what? She asked, her tone innocent, but her eyes glinted with dark amusement. You paused and then said butcher. She chuckled, a low, throaty sound that echoed unnaturally. I'm sorry. Maybe I should have said murderer slash cannibal. Excuse me? My voice shot up, crackling like a whip. The room seemed to tilt, the shadows stretching long, clawing at the edges of light. Marcus kills people, she said, her voice flat, clinical, as if reading a grocery list. Chops them up, then she paused, savoring the moment. Eats them. The word eats landed like a sledgehammer. My translucent hand clenched into fist, or tried to, fading further as panic clawed at me. Fuck that. I lunged toward the desk, reaching for the other files. Let me look at those. Rebecca's hand shot out, pinning the stack with a force that rattled the obsidian. I'm sorry, but that's not how this works. Her voice was steel now, unyielding. and the air grew colder, biting at my fading form. I shrank back, my breath, or whatever passed for it, coming in shallow gasps. Can't I reincarnate into a dog or something? A cat? Anything else? She shook her head, exhaling another plum of smoke that twisted into grotesque shapes. Extinct? What? The word exploded for me, raw and desperate. I don't think you realize how long you have been gone, she said, her voice dropping into a chilling whisper. The world has become a very different place since the bombs went off. The bombs. The word sank into me like lead, heavy and final. Images flickered at the edge of my mind. Blinding flashes, screams, swallowed by fire, a sky choked with ash. But I shoved them away, refusing to let them take root. I really pretended not to hear that. So that's it. My voice was a ragged whisper now, barely audible over the hum of the room. Become a murderer, cannibal, or... Poof! She finished, her smirk widening as she mimicked the sound again. The shadows pulsed, closing in, and the bulb overhead flickered wildly, casting Rebecca's face in a strobe of light and darkness. My hands were nearly gone now, my arms fading into wisps that trailed into the void. The alternative loomed, a yawning abyss behind her words, an endless, shrieking nightmare I couldn't escape. Those are my only options? I croaked, my voice breaking under the weight of it all. Now you see why my last client cancelled, she said, her tone almost pitying. She leaned forward, extending her hand across the desk, her cigarette dangling between her fingers. The smoke curled upwards, forming a noose-like ring that hovered above me. But I think you will make the right decision. Her hand hung there, pale and steady, the nails glinting like shards of ice. The room seemed to shrink, the shadows pressing closer, their whispers growing louder, until they were a cacophony of voices clawing at my mind. I could feel myself unraveling, threads of my existence slipping away into the dark. Marcus Gibson's file lay open before me, its pages stained with faint, rust-colored smudges that might have been ink or something worse. I stared at her hand, then at my own fading form. The alternative echoed in my skull, a nightmare beyond imagination, a void of torment where I did scream forever and never be heard. And Marcus, a butcher, a monster, a life drenched in blood and madness. My chest heaved, a phantom heartbeat pounding against my ribs I no longer had. My voice faltered, trembling on the edge of oblivion. The shadows surged, the bulb flared one last time, and the room plunged into darkness. Rebecca's voice cut through the void, soft and final. Choose. I took a deep breath, or the memory of one, and gave her my last answer. If you like this kind of story, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to Horror Story.